Today we're diving into one of the oldest history books ever found, the Sumerian king list. This isn't your typical list of names, it's a record of the first rulers who supposedly lived unimaginably long lives. Let's unpack this ancient puzzle and see what truths we might find about these legendary kings. First off, the Sumerian king list. Imagine a document that lists kings who ruled for thousands of years each. Yes, you heard that right. Thousands. For instance, one king, Alulim, is said to have ruled for 28,800 years. It sounds unbelievable, right? That's because it probably is. These weren't ordinary human lifespans, and there's a lot more to these numbers than meets the eye. This king list isn't just one single list. It's actually a bunch of different records mashed together from various Sumerian cities. And here's where it gets tricky. These versions don't all match up. Some say there were 440,000 years before a great flood, while others say 240,000 or even 388,000 years. With all these different numbers, historians have to play detective, comparing these lists with other clues from archaeology and ancient writings to make sense of it all. Let's look at a direct quote. After the kingship descended from heaven, the kingship was in Eridu. Alulim became king. He ruled for 28,800 years. Alalja ruled for 36,000 years. Altogether, 8 kings ruled for a whopping 241,200 years in just 5 cities. But how could this be? To solve this, we need to think about how the Sumerians kept time. They didn't start with the moon-based calendar we know they later used. Back then, what they called a year might have actually been a day. So if someone lived 28,800 years, they might have actually lived 28,800 days, which works out to about 78 modern years. That's a lot more believable, isn't it? This twist helps us see these kings not as immortals, but as people whose lifetimes weren't that different from ours today. It's about understanding the past in their terms, not just ours. And it's not just us who wonder about these lists. Even the famous Roman Cicero thought some ancient historians were stretching the truth. He said, "We must condemn the Babylonians, who assert that they have preserved observations extending back 470,000 years. That was Cicero calling out what he saw as nonsense, reminding us to question and verify the wild claims of ancient texts. So there you have it, the Sumerian king list, a mix of myth and reality, giving us glimpses into how the earliest civilizations saw themselves and their world. Thanks for exploring this ancient mystery with us. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you love digging into history as much as we do. See you next time as we uncover more secrets from the past.